CarX Street was supposed to release on November 5th, 2022 on PC. I remember everyone being super hyped about it. We had a Steam page as well with some pictures, game information, release date. The reason it was so hyped up was because it had these Need for Speed vibes. We could race through the open world city and we would have different physics. Drifting would be way easier. And the 2022 release date wasn't that unrealistic because they could use a lot of the assets like cars and the map assets from their existing CarX PC game in CarX Street. And then, right before the release, they announced that the release date will be moving from late 2020 to late 2021. But this was just the beginning of disasters for CarX Street. Now, we were all a bit sad and disappointed, but we didn't want a buggy, unfinished project, so we waited. And everyone actually thought that the game was super close to being finished because they did show us gameplay. I remember it was a Civic and the graphics looked amazing. But behind the scenes, it was chaos. The developers have realized that CarX Street is more difficult to develop than they expected. And it didn't help that everyone's expectations were extremely high. People were really excited about the fact that cars now have NOS as well, just like in Need for Speed. They even showed the full map layout and it was similar to Need for Speed. Keep in mind that they showed us the roadmap of the development on their Steam page as well. And you can clearly see they have early access planned for Steam. And there is no mention of it being a mobile game anywhere here. So all of us were expecting a PC game, even though the screenshot of the user interface they released looked kinda weird and kinda had like a mobile game vibe to it. But they had PC spec requirements listed on the Steam, so I didn't think much of it. Now closing up to the release date of 2021, another disaster struck. Another delay. The release date of the late 2021 was pushed again. But that's not all, because out of nowhere we got the information that they are now working on the mobile version of CarX Street. I specifically remember I asked them if I could have early access to the game, and they replied with, "Sure, do you have iOS?" And I was so confused. Why are they asking me what kind of a phone do I have? I don't have an iPhone. And what does that have to do with anything? And then it hit me. Mobile gaming. They are no longer focusing on the PC version. Their full focus is on the mobile game. And my fears were correct. Because after the new delay, they started showing us mobile CarX Street early footage. At this point, I was quite frustrated. All this hype on their Steam page and showing us the release date, and suddenly they did a full 180 and focused on the mobile. And I know mobile gaming is far more profitable than PC and console games, but using that built-up hype to deceive the fans is not a nice move by CarX Technologies. At this point, personally, my hype for the game was no longer there. But there still was hope, because on their Steam page, the release date was set for September 8th, 2022, and I thought we could still get it on PC, except I was wrong. Closing up to the Steam release date of September 2022, they announced another delay. And they specifically said that they need more time to prepare the PC version of CarX Street. Now, this delay wasn't that long and it kinda gave us hope. While the other release dates were very long, this one was only a couple of months, so we thought they must be very close to releasing the PC version. But guess what? Another day, another delay. And now for some even more depressing facts. Instead of showing the planned release date on the Steam page as they have always done, they now have set the Steam game release date to coming soon. So it does feel like they gave up on the PC version for now, and it is 2023 already. It's been over 3 years. Before you say anything, they could have set a realistic date from the very beginning. Instead, they kept us on our toes for as long as they could. They have built successful games before. They know how long game developments go. You can't just miss the release date with such margins if you have previous experience. 3-year delay and we're so far away from the PC game, something is wrong, yeah. But mobile players were quite happy with the news because finally they have the game on iOS iOS, and now recently CarX Street was released on Android as well. Except even for mobile games, disasters are on the way. On February 8th, 2023, they released the Android version of the game. And with that release, they announced that the game will not work with Samsung phones, which is a very huge portion of all Android players. In addition, it won't work with Huawei phones. I don't know how to pronounce that, I apologize. On top of that, the game was laggy and buggy for those who did manage to play it. Now, some of the fans still show their support and understand the situation by saying, everyone complaining, let us understand that this is an open world racing game on mobile with close to console quality. Let's just be patient and wait as the game develops and get optimized. There was a time when games were released and they were ready to play. What happened? Not just talking about CarX over here, the whole gaming industry. But anyway, CarX Street cannot be played on phone by most players, and they released it anyway. After all these years of development, all the hype, all the delays, and suddenly it is now time to release it, when it is still not ready. Now, I think maybe they realized that the hype is over and they panicked a little bit. They needed to do something very quickly to get people talking about the game again. Plus, they will probably fix the issue with the next update, right? Where most people can't play the game. Wrong. The following update, instead of fixing the issue on Android, where most people can't play the game, instead they came out with an iOS update that had a bunch of iOS bug fixes and iOS optimizations. But okay, surely the next update will fix the Android game, right? So everyone can finally play the game. Wrong once again. Instead, they optimized and fixed some bugs on the Android game. And as of now, this issue is still not fixed. And it is kind of funny that the fans thought that all these delays were good because it's better than releasing an unfinished game, right? But in the end, they did release an unfinished game. Now, you may be also wondering, what is the latest news about the PC version? Well, on 17th February, we finally got a word from CarX Street regarding the PC version. And it goes like this. We can't share any news about the PC/console version right now, but we will do it as soon as possible, that's for sure. Well, the hype is gone, that's for sure. But hey, let's keep our hopes up. Maybe we'll get it on PC in, I don't know, 2035. As for console players, they will have to wait some extra years even after the PC version is out. That's just the sad reality. And with that, I wish you happy waiting. If you enjoyed this rant, like and subscribe. And as always, stay sideways. Peace!